How does trade compliance impact sales growth and customer service?
Compliance requirements can affect delivery timelines and market entry. And so the trade compliance group is becoming increasingly more important in a business development and in a sales expansion perspective. Delays can create huge problems for customer relationships. That customer satisfaction is really tied to the effectiveness of a trade compliance and supply chain program. And also, lack of front-end engagement with compliance can have really costly contractual issues on the tail end. So there's plenty of risks that are inherent in it. And also being able to understand what those responsibilities are. What is the seller responsible for? What is the buyer responsible for? Having that alignment can often, cause a serious problem from a trade compliance perspective, but also from a sales perspective.
So where do commercial teams often encounter friction?
A lot of times it's just understanding the regulatory requirements. So, you're going into a new market and you may not be familiar with that new market and its new requirements. And so sales is excited to go into that new area, but there might be just unbelievable compliance risk with that particular country. Wow. And so being able to be aligned on that is sometimes problematic. Obviously companies want to sell wherever and whenever they can, but those regulatory risks do come into play and they've got to be addressed at some point. That misalignment that can exist between those teams is what causes a lot of problems. And, the US is actually pretty complicated from a compliance perspective, but there's places like Brazil and India and China that all have very unique and challenging regulations that oftentimes sales reps don't think about or not aware of in the overall process. So that can create some definite friction and challenges because sales wants to sell and compliance sometimes is the stopping, right? They're stopping the process somewhere along the way.
So what helps enable growth without increasing risk?
Alignment. Getting together and making sure that in those expansion strategies and as an organization is looking to expand to new markets and new locations or buying from new markets and new locations, that the trade compliance group is brought into those discussions so that they understand what those risks are from the very beginning. It's by improving that coordination, that reduces the risks, and trying to be as proactive as opposed to reactive. So the last thing you want to do is send a shipment to a country and have it stuck there indefinitely because it can't clear customs for whatever reason. Maybe there's a permit required or a license required. But if you're using good, solid processes and good automation tools to help flag those challenges that might come in the future, being able to address those on the front end, that reduces a lot of the friction and actually makes compliance and sales a really good partner combo for growth.
Right.